Insomniacs and troubled sleepers of Reddit, when you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep, what do? I do a reset. If I can't get back to sleep, I get up and walk through my bedtime routine again and then get back into bed. It usually works. Sounds like a good idea, but my bedtime routine is just to go to bed. I used to have insomnia in middle school, and having a set bedtime routine really helped with convincing my brain that it was indeed time to go to sleep. Before that, I would just put my PJs on, turn off the light and go to sleep. Stupid question, but what do you consider a routine? I brush teeth, undress, lay down. I start by making sure all of my stuff is prepared for tomorrow, like homework. I'm still in school, and my outfit might sound stupid, but preparing an outfit in the morning really stresses me out to the point where I have trouble falling asleep. After that, I make sure I'm not hungry or thirsty and everything I need is on my bedside table: water, tissues, hand cream and other stuff. I make sure to take my meds. I take a shower and go through all of my skincare routine. After that come PJs, brushing my teeth and toilet stuff. Then I go to my room. If it's winter, I make sure my radiator isn't going to heat my room too much, turn on my night lamp, close the door, turn off the lights. After I finally lie down in my bed, I pick out an ambient sound to play on my phone, put it on the charging pad, apply hand cream, turn off my night light and go to sleep. I have done that for over 6 years now, and while I appreciate spontaneity during the day, I find that having a set routine at night really helps me fall asleep and stay asleep. Tissues, hand cream and other stuff useful when your body suddenly jerks itself awake at night. I'm a girl with dry hands and allergies, lol, but I see your point. I have hand lotion by my sleeping place too. I work around water and wash my hands a lot, especially since I have a public-facing job. I used to put it away if I had company coming, but now I just laugh about it if they bring it up. I tell them I keep the lube in the kitchen to grease my baking pans. That's hilarious. I simply wallow in misery. Thank you for asking. Same here. I lay there annoyed that I'm not asleep and then start thinking about all my personal failings until I fall back asleep half an hour before the alarm. I never have enough time during the day to dwell on all my regrets, and the extra 2 to 3 hours in the middle of the night really helps me get around to it. Get up, get a glass of water in the kitchen, check doors are locked, brush teeth, and most importantly, go pee. Then go back to bed. If that doesn't work, try the self-loathing option above. I get up for the day. I've had some days where I'm running on half an hour of sleep. It truly sucks, but I don't know what else to do. If I just lay there, I never actually fall back asleep and usually end up getting out of bed a few hours later. Consider seeing a sleep doctor therapist. Saved my life. I'm considering this. Can you share more about your experience? I usually listen to a podcast rather than look at anything on my phone. I find that the light from the screen only makes it less likely that I'll be able to fall asleep again. Edit. Thank you so much for the awards. Really looking forward to trying all the suggested shows. I use a meditation app that also has something called sleep stories, which are basically bedtime stories for adults. They range in topics from rules of tennis to stories about traveling through mountains by train and such. I find it similar to podcasts, but as the topics are not that engaging, it helps me fall asleep better. Edit. The app is calm, has tons of very professional content, and someone in the comments said that if you have Amex you get a year subscription for free, so check it out. I agree, Calm is my go-to. I wear a set of soft sleep headphones that I bought for about $20. The story I listen to on repeat is called The Shipping Forecast, and it is a British guy reading weather patterns for particular shipping routes for sailors. It's complete nonsense to me, so I don't get too involved in the story. One of the Calm app voiceover creators has a YouTube channel called The French Whisperer. It has hundreds of 1 to 3 hour videos on tons of various topics, and the guy's voice is like butter. French butter. I'm out cold in 20 minutes every time. Shout out to The French Whisperer. He is a goddamn ASMR magician. I would also recommend Dan Jones and Christopher Fitton if you're into long, boring sleep stories. Their voices are magical. I relive all the awful, uncomfortable, embarrassing, humiliating experiences or mistakes I've made in my entire life and deride myself for being an idiot, because that's a really useful way to spend time at 3:30 a.m. And then I fantasize about winning the lottery. Edit. We may all feel lousy in the middle of night, but at least now we know we're not alone, and that gives me lots of solace and hopefully for some of you as well. That's me right now. I usually browse Reddit for a while or watch YouTube until I get sleepy again. Sometimes it gets really bad and you just lay there, then the sun comes up and the birds start singing and all you can think is, duck. I'm there. Right now. Rough dude. At least you can hope for a better sleep tonight. My body hasn't let me sleep for more than 4 hours a day for years. I usually go on Discord and talk to my cousins who live in Ireland. I live in the States. If they're not on, I just do whatever. Edit. Thank you for worrying about my health, everyone who is, but I've been checked out multiple times by my doctor and specialist. I've had my head scanned and had an electroencephalogram. Basically, they attach little discs to your head and monitor your brain activity. They did this while I slept, and they noticed no strange activity. They also did this in the middle of the day another time. Thanks for worrying, but I have had it checked out by specialists who said nothing appears to be wrong. Edit 2, woke up a little while ago, and actually timed my sleep last night. According to the clock app on my phone, I slept 4 hours and 2 minutes. Still feel refreshed. Do you suffer from it, or is it enough? No, I don't suffer from it. I feel completely fine for the rest of the day. Username does not check out tongue. Maybe camels like anxiety. Maybe the camel himself is fine and just lets anxiety on for a ride. All this anxiety feels like a huge load on my back. I'm breaking my rules by being on Reddit, but here you go, fellow Insomniacs. 1. Do not get on your phone, turn on the TV, or turn the lights on if your intent is to go back to sleep. You're just going to duck up your brain. 2. Lay still, close your eyes, and start with the letter A. Name 5 things from a category that start with A. Baby names, city names, items in a grocery store, types of animals, things you would find in an office, whatever. Name 5 things from that category that start with the letter A, then move on to the letter B, then C, and so on. I skipped Q and X. 3. If you make it through to Z, move on to another category. I've been trying this the past few weeks and rarely get through a few letters before falling asleep. This is my new go-to. I do this until my intrusive thoughts get in the way. LMFAU. Intrusive thoughts are my worst enemy when trying to sleep. They won't shut up, no matter what I do. Frown. Have you ever done something really awkward, and then thought about it for like 8 years? Masturbate. Came here for this comment. I'm wondering why it's so low. This was my first thought before I thought some more. Still the same thought after, ha. Do the washing up. Quietly. So I don't disturb my man. Go outside and look at the sky. Empty the rubbish bins. Quietly. Snuggle my cats. Get lots of licks and headbutts in return. Snuggle my hippopotamus Stuffy named Earl and try and find a position where my body doesn't hurt due to my chronic illness. Worry about everything I have said or done in my 40 years on Earth. Try and go back to bed. Snuggle my man, wake him up. Stroke his back until he falls asleep again. Take my cats back downstairs and snuggle them again. Cry. My body hurts so much and I have to get up for work in 3 hours. Put on a comforting, familiar film or TV show like Harry Potter or B99 with the volume down super low. Try and listen only and cover my face with a pillow to reduce the stimulation to my brain so I forget I am worrying about everything I have ever said or done and focus on reciting the dialogue in my head. Fall asleep hugging my cats and Earl. Wake up 1 hour before my alarm is meant to go off. Rinse. Repeat. I'm sorry to hear about your chronic pain, but I may be able to offer advice when it comes to the part where you said you think about everything you've ever said and done. I used to not sleep because of this kind of anxiety too until my therapist taught me a surprisingly simple but effective mantra. I just sit or lay comfortably and repeat phrases like I deserve peace and rest, I cannot change the past, and I cannot do anything about it at this very moment, and stuff like that, while also following a specific breathing pattern. It helps me tremendously when the gears start turning a bit too much. Edit spelling. I've tried rhythmic breathing exercises. They work on occasion. As for self-affirmations, they work less frequently. I am under the care of a very good psychologist who has also recommended such things. I had a sleep study done a few years ago which showed I have physiological differences in my hypothalamus compared to a normal brain. Sleep has been an issue for me since I was an infant. My brain doesn't send the right chemicals at the right times to help me sleep. Yes, I've tried chemical replacements. They didn't work for me. But thanks for the suggestions. I understand what you mean. My insomnia also started as an infant, but nothing was done about it, and I didn't even realize as a kid that I had a problem. But I do remember lying wide awake at 2 a.m. in the bed day by day. With my insomnia, I feel exhausted but not sleepy. I realized the difference when I started taking a calcium antagonist for my migraines, and suddenly when I lied down I felt sleepy like a normal person and was asleep within minutes. At some point they stopped working for improving my sleep though. Since then I was prescribed some sleeping medications and even they don't work reliably.